On the news, Nigerians groan in darkness as national grid collapses for the third time in 1 week. Nigeria seals deal with Ericsson to advance 5G tech development. And ASUP issues 15-day ultimatum to Nigerian government over lingering issues. It's a pleasure to have you join us on News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I am Okbayemi Owusheni. Nigerians are once again reeling in darkness following the collapse of the national power grid for the third time in 1 week. The grid collapse occurred Saturday morning with many states reporting total blackout. Data obtained from the Nigerian System Operators Portal revealed that the grid recorded an unprecedented 0 megawatt. The grid has collapsed twice this week, marking the 8th grid disturbance in 2024. The Transmission Company of Nigeria is yet to confirm the incident, leaving Nigerians in the dark as to the reason behind this round of blackout. Although TCN is yet to speak on the latest collapse, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, on Friday said the grid collapses are almost inevitable in Nigeria, given the deplorable state of the country's power infrastructure. The Minister of Petroleum Resources, Aineke Lokpobiri, said an esteem from the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Agency have paid a condolence visit to the governor and people of Jigawa State over the unfortunate petrol tanker incident that claimed over 170 lives in the Majia community. The minister described the incident as the most tragic event in recent times, without a huge loss of lives, and noted that drastic steps will be taken by his ministry to prevent such reoccurrence. He further noted that they have outlined some measures for maintaining proper certifications of tanker vehicles. He urged Nigerians to desist from scooping fuel whenever there is a tanker explosion. He also urged all governors to join hands together to educate Nigerians on the dangers of petrol accident and scooping of fuel. Nigeria's anti-graft agency, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), is under the spotlight as 16 state governments are challenging the constitutionality of the laws establishing it and other anti-corruption agencies like the ICPC. The country's Supreme Court has now fixed October 22nd for the hearing of their suit. The case was originally filed by the Kogi state, but 15 other states have since joined the suit as co-plaintiffs. Reacting to this, lawyer and public affairs analyst Adewale Ajaji says the governor supporting this suit are signaling a reluctance to be held accountable. Speaking on TV 360's flagship program, Digi 360, Ajaji emphasized that the EFCC represents the Nigerian government's commitment to ensuring accountability. According to him, the governor's lack of accountability could undermine the country's socio-political development.
The governors who have supported this are sending a signal to the wider country that they do not want to be accountable, because I don't see how they would imagine that a commitment of the federal government to making people accountable is something that they should challenge. But anyway, let's look at that. This is a different perspective. There's some very important points to make out is that the Constitution is clear. I think it's Section 14.2 that says that the federal government is set up for the well-being of Nigerians, something to that effect. I can't say it off the top of my head. And essentially, on welfare of Nigerians. And essentially, it can be argued that corruption is some of the things that damage the welfare of Nigerians, and the overwhelming responsibility of the government to do that. The second thing is that the state governments have not also supported the federal government's effort to make their legislators independent, to make local governments independent, to make the judiciary of the states independent, at least financially independent, so that they can be accountable in the states. So there is that second element. So this means that it seems that these are not good faith interventions, but protection of current executives who might feel themselves to be accountable to the EFCC. The question is, has the EFCC been effective in holding them to account? And I would say that's to a level, but it has not been as effective as it could be if the state governments had constitutions and had institutions that are independent of the executive to the point that the executive is accountable within their states. So, I mean, intellectually, they have some interesting arguments that could carry the day. But the fundamentals is that it undermines the socio-political and socio-economic development of Nigeria for the state governments not to be accountable, because they're already imperial and impervious to any systems that holds them to account. And they seem to get away with anything they can. And I think it will be to our detriment, fundamentally. But of course, this thing is still before the Supreme Court.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has led other Nigerian officials to sign a memorandum of understanding between Nigeria and telecom giant Ericsson on a 5G innovation lab. This was disclosed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President Stalin Wokocha, in a statement on Friday. The deal is aimed at placing Nigeria among the world's top users of the 5G network in terms of productivity and boosting Nigeria's technological capabilities. The MOU signed on Friday at Ericsson's global headquarters and research and development lab in Kista, north of Stockholm, Sweden, was witnessed by Vice President Shettima and Ericsson's Senior Vice President and Head of Business Area Middle East and Africa. Minister for Communications and Digital Economy Bosun Tijani signed the MOU on behalf of the Nigerian government, while Peter Olusoji Ogundele, the country manager for Ericsson Nigeria, signed on behalf of the telecom giant. Outlining the importance of the MOU, Tijani expressed optimism that Nigeria will make the most of 5G technology, as its wide coverage will lead to rapid development and growth of the Nigerian economy. The Nigerian government has unveiled a new policy to streamline vehicle registration across Nigeria, with the establishment of a centralized database for vehicles in the country. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Wale Edun, will disclose this on Friday in Lagos at a one-day zonal sensitization seminar to promote the national vehicle registration policy, emphasized that the introduction of a unified vehicle identification number will help curb revenue leakages and improve overall revenue administration. The minister, who was represented by the Director of Public-Private Partnerships, Jumai Katagom, said the new system is expected to reduce inefficiency in vehicle management, boost economic growth, and promote development by improving data sharing, resource allocation, and policy formulation.
In furtherance to the accomplishment of the National Vehicle Registry objectives, there is need for more integration of other stakeholders and decision makers. It is crucial that this integration are finalized to complement the existing connection with the ready integrated stakeholders. Furthermore, it is worthy to know that efforts are currently underway to expand the impact of the National Vehicle Registry through integration with each of the sub-national vehicle administration agencies to simplify compliance and regularization.
And curbing revenue leakages. The benefits of this system, such as optimized data sharing between stakeholders and improved compliance in vehicle importation, are already becoming evident. We are confident that with continued support, VREG will revolutionize the way vehicles are managed across the country, driving economic growth and development. The theme, strengthening policy collaboration for impactful economic revitalization, shows that we are an all-inclusive government that desires to carry everyone along. Our government understands the importance of collaboration, hence why we are all here.
To education issues now, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics have issued a 15-day ultimatum to the Nigerian government to attend to numerous issues affecting the smooth operations of polytechnics and monotechnics in the country or face a prolonged industrial action. Addressing journalists at the Plateau State Polytechnic back in Ladi in Plateau State, the zonal coordinator Zone B Lumpeya Simji stated that the National Executive Council at its last meeting reviewed the current status of engagement with proprietors of public polytechnics, colleges of technology and monotechnics in the country, specifically on some disturbing issues affecting the polytechnic sector. Some of the issues in contention for discussion and agitation include sustained reports of impunity and disrespect of clear provisions of the Federal Polytechnics Act, different edicts establishing state-owned institutions and other instruments of governance in the sector, particularly as it affects the appointment of principal officers in federal and state-owned institutions, as well as some other items of governance in polytechnics. The Vice-Chancellor of the Lagos State University, Prof. Obiyomi Olatunji Bello, has called on institutions of higher learnings to explore the characteristics of virtual tests in a move to revolutionize Nigeria's education sector. Speaking at the celebration on academic achievement, when the mobile classroom team visited LASU's Ojo campus to honor students who had performed their prayers in the nationwide virtual test, the Vice-Chancellor, who was represented by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Omobinto Olufunsho, applauded the initiative for recognizing academic excellence and encouraged the continuation of such laudable efforts. She noted that the mobile classroom has helped in promoting academic excellence and innovation in education, while stating the importance of motivating students to keep learning and shared future plans aimed at promoting free education.
Mobile classroom competition in the area of business administration. In the area of the business administration, it shows that the mobile classroom app is trying to promote academic excellence. Trying to expand the horizon of academics, and they also try as much as possible to make the students realize their dreams. Some of our students here that have won it may not have the fund or the capacity to actualize some of their dreams, but with the award, with what they have won today, the mobile classroom app has given them the support.
It's a good development and it has come to stay. Virtual learning is a great opportunity that students will have opportunity in their private moment to learn, and that they will not be exempted in any form of activities, which is a good development.
Education or supporting education also matters a lot. Not only, we have a lot of reality TV shows outside there supporting a lot of activities, but we don't really have platforms and organizations supporting and encouraging students. So mobile classroom app with the new initiatives on the platform that allows lecturers to set up their personalized class space in a view to them to put up the academic and intellectual assets so as to make learning easy for their students, as they will have the opportunity to learn at their own pace, time and place.
And diverse reactions have continued to chill the revelation by the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, that many of the illicit weapons currently being used by terrorists and bandits in the country originally belonged to the Nigerian government. Ribadu explained that the weapons ended up in the hands of non-state actors due to corrupt elements within the security agencies. In response, former Director of the Department of State Services, Dennis Amakri, emphasized the need for security agencies to collaborate in establishing a structure for access control that would ensure that any arms taken out can be properly monitored and managed. According to him, adequate stock taking of arms is essential, as proliferation exists only because there is a supply.
NSA has come up with identifying the problem. That is number one in solving that problem. He has identified it. And then, of course, the second phase now is for the NSA and all the security agencies, the security arm-bearing security agencies, to now put in place a structure of, physical security, access control, and then, of course, you can even use technological leverage, to make sure that any of these arms that are, taken out are controlled. You will know. In fact, the computer will alert you to tell you that this arm has gone out, it has not come back. Or this is a new arm that we have just got. We don't know where it came from. And then, of course, all this one that police people are parading, how do we take stock of them? They should be taken stock of. And then, of course, if you are destroying them, let us know the ones you destroyed. If you are returning them back into the system, let us know how many bullets or how many ammunition or whatever you are going to reuse again. But just to exhibit them and then we don't know what happened to them later again.
Away from security matters now, the First Lady of Lagos State, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, has officially launched the supplemental immunization activities in a significant move to enhance public health throughout the state. The event, attended by key government officials, health professionals, and community leaders, highlights the state's commitment to providing widespread access to essential vaccines for children and eligible adults. TV360's Ogechukwu Kekwe completes the report.
The supplemental immunization activities form part of a larger initiative designed to strengthen routine immunization services, particularly targeting children under 5 years old, pregnant women, and other vulnerable population. In her keynote address, wife of the Governor of Lagos State, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who was represented at the event, emphasized that vaccines are crucial for protecting children from preventable, life-threatening diseases.
Through the HPV vaccine, we are taking a proactive deep step in the fight against cervical cancer, one of the leading causes of death among women in Nigeria. By vaccinating our young girls, we are not just protecting them from a virus, but we are safeguarding their futures.
The event also created an opportunity to sensitize parents and caregivers of the importance of immunization for public health.
The Lagos State government is making tremendous effort in improving health care of our residents through various policies, engagement, health programs, technological innovations in health. Also in Ifakoja, local government, our administration since inception and through these 3 years have left no stone unturned in providing quality healthcare services to our people.
Number one is increased vaccine coverage, ensuring that a larger percentage of our population is protected against these vaccine preventable diseases. Number two, public awareness and education. Through outreach programs like these, we can educate the community about the importance of vaccination and dispel any myths or misinformation concerning vaccination.
UNICEF remains highly committed to supporting the government, healthcare providers, and communities to ensure that these life-saving vaccines reach every child, no matter where they live or what the challenges they may face. Our shared goal is simple but powerful. A shout to protect and safeguard our future from diseases that can be prevented is what the shot.
Please visit any of our health workers and seek whatever clarification that you need. It is important that you educate yourself before you take the vaccine, absolutely. But please, it will be a shame if you just let the opportunity pass.
Health experts reiterate their support for the initiative and assured residents of vaccine safety.
These vaccines have been tested, they are safe, and they've been proven to be very effective to protect the children and even some of the adults against a lot of these common vaccine preventable diseases. So this is to tell you that clinical trials have gone on all over the world, globally, and even local studies here in Nigeria to prove that these vaccines are safe and effective.
By the first 2 weeks, we will look at where we are. If we've been able to cover the targets, that we are aiming to. So we'll see. We might have it till maybe like 4 weeks.
The supplemental immunization activity in Lagos State are poised to make a substantial impact in reducing the incidence of vaccine preventable diseases, protecting the health and well-being of its population, and contributing to the overall development of the state. Ogechukwu Kekwe, TV360, Lagos.
We're going to short break here, but still to come on the news, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's home targeted in drone attack. Details of the story after this break. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. Nigerians are once again reeling in darkness following the collapse of the national power grid for the third time in 1 week. The grid collapse occurred early Saturday morning, with many states reporting total blackout. Data obtained from the Nigerian System Operators Portal revealed that the grid recorded an unprecedented 0 megawatt. The grid has collapsed twice this week, marking the 8th grid disturbance in 2024. We also informed you that Vice President Kashim Shettima has led other Nigerian officials to sign a memorandum of understanding between Nigeria and telecom giant Ericsson on a 5G innovation lab. This was disclosed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President Stalin Wokocha, in a statement on Friday. The deal is aimed at placing Nigeria among the world's top users of the 5G network in terms of productivity and boosting Nigeria's technological capabilities. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. And in the world of business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and its joint venture Chevron Nigeria Limited have made a near-field oil discovery within the successful drilling of the major NW1 well within the shallow offshore Niger Delta region. In a statement released on Friday, both parties said the well, which was spotted on September 2, 2024, has reached a total depth of 8,983 feet, while operations were completed on October 2nd. The drilling encountered approximately 690 feet of hydrocarbon within sand, appraising an extension of the already productive Meji field. The latest oil discovery comes as a boost for Nigeria and reflects the contracts with Chevron's peers such as Shell, ExxonMobil, Total Energy, and leaving Niger Delta waters opportunities in Nigeria for less risky ventures in Namibia and Guyana. Still on business, the House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill aimed at making it mandatory for government ministries, departments and agencies to prioritize the procurement of locally made products, goods and services. Honorable Obi Agocha, while leading the debate on the bill's general principles, said the bills also seek to appeal the Local Content Act of 2010 and enact new provisions requiring MDAs to give priority to local manufacturers and indigenous companies in the procurement of goods, works and services. According to him, the bill also prohibits the exclusion of locally produced goods in procurement processes.
To move that the bill for an act to make mandatory procurement first option of locally made products, goods and services by government ministries, departments and agencies, and make it mandatory for the government ministries and department of agencies to give priority to local manufacturers and indigenous companies in the procurement of goods, works and services, to prohibit the exclusion of locally produced goods in the procurement process, to repeal Local Content Act of 2010 and enact a bill to make it mandatory for ministries, departments and agencies to give priority to local manufacturers, indigenous companies in the procurement of goods and services, and prohibit the exclusion of locally produced goods in the procurement process and for related matters. A consolidation, Mr. Speaker, of HB 85, HB 1007, and HB 1330.
And on the foreign scene, Israel says a drone was launched towards Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's house on Saturday. According to the Prime Minister's office, Netanyahu and his wife were not in the building and there was no casualties. It was not immediately clear who the mastermind of the drone was, but earlier, the Israeli minister said 55 rockets were launched from Lebanon into northern Israel. According to the military, while some were intercepted, others landed in open areas. The attack comes just day after Israel killed Yahya Sinwar, Hamas leader, during a military operation in the Gaza Strip. Still on the foreign scene, Cuba is experiencing a nationwide blackout after its main energy plant failed, knocking out power to its 10 million people. Its power grid collapsed at around 11 a.m. on Friday, according to the Energy Ministry statement on social media. Grid officials said they did not know how long it would take to restore power. The island has now suffered months of lengthy blackout, prompting the Prime Minister to declare an energy emergency on Thursday. Friday's total blackout comes after Antonio Guterres' power plant, the highest on the island, went offline. And finally, on sports, the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusau, has vowed to fight with everything to protect the dignity of the country and the lives of the players. The resolve comes on the maltreatment of Nigeria's senior men's national team by Libyan authorities during their trip to the country for the second leg of their 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying Group D fixture against the Mediterranean Ninth, only to be subjected to inhuman treatment upon arrival on Sunday. In a video posted by the Eagles media team, the players and officials were left stranded with their luggage at the airport, with the Libyan airport officials indifferent to their plight and conversing in Arabic. Libya were scheduled to host the three-time African champions at the 10,000 capacity Benin Stadium in Benia, located just 10 kilometers from Benghazi, but their plane was diverted to the Al-Abag airport, which is over 200 kilometers and 3.5 hours drive from the planned campsite. Still on sports, Anas Musa has been appointed as the new general manager of Nigerian National League side Gombe United. Musa took over the leadership of the Savannah Scorpions from Abubakar. Gombe United made the announcement on social media. Abubakar Mina and Ishaya Usman will serve as the club secretary and team manager respectively. Gombe United were relegated from the Nigerian Premium Football League last season, but they are in the Northern Conference Group C for the new NNL season. The new campaign will commence on Saturday, November 30th, 2024. And that's up our news bulletin on News Now at this time. Many thanks for joining us. I'm Okpeyemi Owoseni. See you next time.